Hello, my name is Joseph Dix, and I'm Director of the Second Language Research Institute of Canada at the University of New Brunswick. In my role as a second language educator, I have spoken with a lot of parents over the years. They all want the same thing, the best possible education for their children. When it comes to French immersion, there is one overarching question that I am asked. Should I put my child in early French immersion, or should I wait? In the next few minutes, I will provide you with some important information and insights related to this question based on my experience as a researcher, teacher, and parent, and on the large volume of research that has been conducted in French immersion over the past 45 years. The first point I would like to make is this. As far as second language acquisition is concerned, the earlier the start, the better. And there are four main reasons for this assertion. First, younger children are less inhibited than older children. Consequently, they are not worried about making mistakes and will take more risks. We know that in order to be successful in language learning, we need to take risks. Second, there is the question of time. The earlier one starts to learn a new language, the more time one can accumulate in that language environment. Early French immersion has the most cumulative time of any of the French immersion options. Third, there is the issue of intense exposure to the language, and we know that intensity of exposure is critical. Once again, early total French immersion provides the greatest intensity, with nearly 100% of the day being spent in French in the beginning grades. This greater intensity at the outset provides for more effective acquisition of the second language. Fourth, and finally, an early start means that students are beginning to learn subject matter in school that is more easily learned in their second language than if they waited to begin at grade 4 or grade 6. In the later grades, subject matter is more complex, and the language needed to learn that subject matter is more sophisticated. In kindergarten and grade 1, students do not have this same hurdle when learning in their second language. So, these four reasons support my first point that earlier is better for second language acquisition purposes. Now I will move on to my second point. Earlier is also better as far as producing an inclusive learning environment is concerned. There are two main reasons that support this. First, as I just mentioned, students in early French immersion will be learning in French through subject matter content that is more closely aligned with their beginning second language level. Because of this, students from a wide range of abilities are able to succeed, provided the support they need is available to them. It is recognized that early French immersion casts the widest net as far as being able to attract a wide range of learners in terms of ability and socioeconomic background. Second, as someone who has worked within education for 35 years, I know that the longer a student is in school, the more students become identified as academically strong, average, or weak. Terms like at-risk or academically challenged are used to identify those students who need extra support, and unfortunately, in the case of later starting French immersion programs like late immersion and middle immersion, are identified as not being good candidates for these programs. Consequently, late French immersion and middle French immersion programs tend to be populated by more academically capable students, creating a much less inclusive learning environment. So, in conclusion, all French immersion programs are effective. However, later starting programs tend to be effective for a much more select group of students. Early French immersion has proven its ability to produce the highest levels of bilingualism and its ability to do so for students from the widest range of backgrounds and abilities. I trust these insights will be useful to you in appreciating the differences among French immersion program options and will inform any decision you may be making regarding French second language education.